One Piece chapter 984 has been released, and my god, this was a really good chapter. I laughed, I cried. Okay, I didn't cry, but I was hyped for this whole chapter after 2 weeks of having to wait for the identity reveal of Yamato, and we got that in this chapter. Not to mention, a lot more stuff has been shown in this chapter, and even something else has been alluded to and even hinted at in this story. We also got confirmation at the end that for a past character has an even bigger role in the past of Wano than we initially thought. So, let's get started with One Piece chapter 984. So, the chapter begins where we left off last time, where page 1 wakes up from his hit from Luffy, checking up on Ulti after getting hit by the Thunder Bagua of Yamato, and, basically saying to get a medical team out there. Ulti gets back up, saying, "Oh, Pei, they hurt me so bad. Help me out," something like that. He's like, "Well, I guess you're fine and everything." Page 1 is just freaking annoyed at Ulti at this point. And I do love their something dynamic. Page 1 tries to act all stoic and everything, and Ulti's just random emotions, klutzy, angry at times, snaps very easily, and is always trying to be as carefree as possible, which I do kind of like because it's like some good laughs in an arc like this. So it's really nice to see that. So page 1 tells his men to keep an eye on Luffy and Yamato so he can eventually catch up to them. One quick thing I do need to state is that page 1 got up pretty quickly from that close up, point blank uppercut from Luffy using the elephant gun, right, literally point blank, and he literally says, "Yeah, that hurt pretty bad. He almost dislocated my jaw." And everyone just like, "Wait, that's it? You're hurt just by that?" And it is kind of surprising because Luffy is strong. Thing is, we all know that Luffy was holding back because he wants to save his strength so he can take down Kaido himself. So it makes sense that he would hold back. So page 1. I do believe this is mainly because page 1 was in his dinosaur form, and maybe he used Armor Haki on his shin the last minute to soften the blow. That's possible. That wasn't alluded to, but I think it's because he was in his dinosaur form, and dinosaurs have pretty thick skin, so it's very possible that in their dinosaur forms they can tank a lot of damage due to how large and powerful they are. So, as well as their own natural strength in those dinosaur forms. So that makes sense why Ulti got up so quickly even after Yamato hit her with a Thunder Bagua to the head. So, yes. It is possible Yamato was kind of holding back himself. So there is that possibility. So anyway, we then cut to Luffy and Yamato and they start fighting. Luffy's like, I don't got time for this. I have to go now. And Yamato's like, "Please, I just need to talk to you." And Luffy's like, "Fine, you got 30 seconds." And Yamato's like, "No, I need to talk to you in somewhere private. I don't want anyone else to hear you." He's like, "Then screw that. I gotta go." And Yamato's getting frustrated, but then he's like, the way we're fighting, it reminds me of a fight from my past, and all mysterious and stuff like that. And then we get a big explosion from the outcome of the battle, most likely due to Haki clashing. So, we then cut to page 1, who just arrives on the scene. Destruction everywhere. Luffy and Yamato are gone. Yeah! Oh man, they just disappeared in the middle of that fight. That was just hilarious. And I love page 1's reactions like, "They're gone?" Oh man. I do like that Tobi Roppo aren't just fodder. I mean, Sasuke kind of got dealt with pretty quickly, but that was more like surprise and stuff like that. And I do kind of like how Ulti and page 1 aren't just one and done like that, like anticlimactic fights. So I do see them fighting more people. I wouldn't be shocked if the members of the Tobi Roppo end up fighting the Scabbards. I would honestly like that. Oops, sorry about that. Vibrate. Anyway, so I do want to see the Tobi Roppo fight against the Scabbards, because I believe their numbers are pretty much equal. One Scabbard per Tobi Roppo. And Sasuke versus Denjiro is pretty much set up for a later part of the arc. So, since Denjiro was the one that chained up Sasuke. Now, moving on, speculation's out of the way. Moving on. We go back to the banquet hall. Orochi, being his nice self, is telling the story of how Momo got to where they are. Basically insulting his mom, Toki, saying that she was a witch, and she sent her vengeance 20 years into the future, and stuff like that. And the Beast Pirates are like, oh, come on. The kid's probably dead. The Kozuki been dead for years. There's no way anyone would have a power like that. Elf fruits are spectacular, but there's no way this could actually happen in real life. One of the Beast Pirates is like, it's like, right, bro? And then we see a page of Jimmy and Robin managing to stay hidden. Jimmy's acting all goofy, like, yeah, that's right. Well, and then Robin's like playing into it, like, I'm gonna stab the kid's eyes out myself, something like that. And oh man, people were kind of concerned that since Jinbei is such a serious character that he wouldn't fit into the goofiness of the Straw Hat crew. But Jinbei just blending in like that, it really does help with him fitting into those Straw Hats. So I do see more comedic moments with Jinbei on the crew. I do want to see these things so damn much. I really, really do. It's gonna be great. So Robin and Jinbei then start whispering to each other. Like Robin's like, I'm really concerned about Momo. I really hope we get to do something soon. And Jinbei's like, stay strong, Nico Robin. I'm sure the samurai will start their moves pretty soon. They'll make their move. And we're then told through the narration that the infiltration has been a success. Multiple samurai have infiltrated the banquet hall and are playing their roles. And they're being silent. They're saying, Lord Momonosuke. Lord Momonosuke. They're playing up the facade of being happy beast pirates, partying it up. And we go through panel by panel of people throughout the banquet hall, drinking and having fun. They're actually samurai from the. They're actually the samurai that Dendro and Kinemon brought to the banquet, and they're suffering on the inside, having to see their lord's son, Momo, on that crucifix, beaten up and bloody and about to be executed. From a quick comedic scene of Jinbei and Nico Robin playing their role, we cut to a serious and frustratingly sad panels of members of the Samurai Alliance just trying to blend in as much as they could with it, while subconsciously worrying about Momo and wanting to strike back. We even see the Yakuza boss Hyogoro in the crowd as well, drinking like Lord Momonosuke. So I do love this because their plan is working. It's working. Everyone's focused on Luffy, Kid, Killer, and Zoro, and on the execution. True, Big Mom is following Nami's group. Sanji's probably going to show up at some point. I would love that. I would love if Sanji and Zoro saved Momo. If they were the ones that saved Momo. That would be great. But, moving on. So, we do get confirmation that samurai have infiltrated that banquet hall. Then after that, we cut to Kaido being like, where's Lin Lin? And then his secretary is like, she'll be on her way soon. And he's like, you could have told me that earlier. I can't do a good Kaido. I really want doing a good Kaido, honestly. I don't think he's gotten an English voice actor yet. So I wouldn't know how to do it correctly. Even if I did do the try with the... Whatever. I'm getting off topic. So him and his all-stars get onto the main stage and like, let's spice up this execution, shall we? And he says, I'm going to announce the new Onigashima project. And we end that interaction. Now, one thing I do like is how the crew members of the Beast Pirates, like, whenever Kaido enters a room, they can feel the pressure and his presence. Like, they can feel the pressure of Kaido entering the room. His mere presence changes the mood. That is how you know that someone has that great of a presence. I do like that. That is a nice detail that Oda threw in there. So what is the new Onigashima project, and why was he waiting for Big Mom at first to do this, but then just decided not to? Well, we'll see. We'll see later on. It's not going to be within the next chapter or two that we're going to get the reveal of what the new Onigashima project is, because Robin and Jinbei are in the crowd along with the other samurai, so they're all going to hear the announcement. But moving on to Law's group now. Finally, we get to Law's group after a couple of chapters of not knowing what's going on with them. They make it to the back of the island, towards the rear entrance. And Law's like, we're kind of very strong current, so once we surface, we only got a few seconds to go onto land. They resurface, and at the second, Law opens his room, does shambles, teleports everyone, replaces them with some rocks from the island, and they all make it to the back entrance. And the nice detail is at the back of the island, it's snowing. It's snowing. I don't know if that's going to play a big role or anything, but we'll see later on. There's also two entrances from what we saw. One in the lower left corner and one giant grand entrance to the back. And Law's like, I bet my life that that's the one that leads to Kaido. But then we hear stuff. We get to hear a conversation in the distance. Cat Viper falls from the air. He's like, wait, hold on. Ah! He falls onto the ground. Ronzo's surprised, like, Cat Viper? And then we see Marco. Everyone's saying hi to Marco. Dogster was like, Marco, you haven't changed a bit. Then we get the much needed reunion of Izo joining everyone. All the samurai and Kiku are freaking going around to hug Izo. We see Izo. Viper's like, yeah, Marco said he said he knew where to find him, so I figured we'd bring him here. Before I get into the rest of this, if you look close enough, Cat Viper's got a gun hand. He's got a gun hand. He doesn't have the stub and the bandages anymore. He's got a freaking gun hand. Anyway, back to this. Kiku is starting to tear up to finally see her brother again. And Izo's like, oh, Kiku, you've grown into a fine samurai. Amazing. And then Kiku start crying and tearing up, runs to Izo and gives him a nice big hug. Nice and cheerful. And the rest of the scabbards start going towards him. There's also another thing that Marco says in this chapter, that there is a shadowy figure in the sea that he saw on his way here. So, people are thinking, I'm pretty much thinking that it could be Peril Sparrow. Oh man, that would be hilarious if Peril Sparrow's on his candy slug heading towards the island, then Marco shows up again and uses his flames to freaking melt his candy slug and he starts to drown. Or just grabs him, throws him onto a different island, knocks him out or something like that. It would just be hilarious if he just throws Peril Sparrow off the waterfall again. He just grabs him and throws him off the waterfall. That would be hilarious. Oh man, I know a joke can only get old. You can get old really quick. I've done so many times, but come on, I would love to see those guys get knocked down the waterfall again. That's just a good gag. That's just a freaking good gag. Well, anyway, the Scabbards reunite. All the Scabbards are there except for Kinemon and Denjiro. Oh man, that would be nice. I can't wait to see those two reuniting with Izo. That would be great. Also, quick thing, Izo's got a scar on his right eye. Most likely from the battle against the Blackbeard pirates. So, I'll be honest, I wanted some more Whitebeard pirates to show up. Then again, there could be some Whitebeard pirates guarding Marco, where Marco was, Whitebeard's hometown. So that could be a thing. Moving on to the final portion of this chapter. Luffy and Yamato are in an attic area, and Luffy's like, you have 5 minutes. So Yamato explains himself, saying that 20 years ago, he wanted to become Kozuki Oden, to which Kaido, didn't like and punched the kid. Yamato says that he witnessed the execution of Kozuki Oden, the legendary hour, 20 years ago. Now, how old is Yamato? Well, definitely old enough to remember that. I'd say mid-20s, probably, from what I can tell. If it was 20 years ago, I'd say mid-20s. And he said, so Yamato I can't speak. So Yamato continues to say that after that, he was inspired. He wanted to become Kozuki Oden. And, hell, he wanted so badly, he's even dressing like Oden. And one quick thing, another thing, it drove him to tears that his own father and Orochi had to kill such an amazing samurai. But it inspired him. And then Yamato reveals that he has Oden's logbook. That's right. During the Oden flashback, the narration was Oden, and it was through Oden's logbook. and his letter. So this could have a lot of information because it details Odin's journey throughout the world with the Whitebeard pirates and the Roger pirates. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a clue on how to open up Wano, or well, definitely a little Wano. It's something that is something that I see happening, or a clue about the road poneglyph that could lead to the One Piece. Because remember, they already the Straw Hats have two road poneglyphs. Well, two road poneglyph copies. One that they got from Zhao, another that they got from Big Mom's vault, thanks to Brook, MVP of that arc. He's took on an Emperor one-on-one, and he didn't die. Now they have Kaido's road poneglyph, and I think there's one more road poneglyph. Yeah, I think there's one more road poneglyph, and then that's it. So it could be leading to the fourth road poneglyph that isn't Kaido's. That is something. We'll reveal some more secrets about Wano. Hell, even about devil fruits too. We have no idea. That is a nice thing to go about. But then we get the epic reveal. So Yamato is saying that he's going to open up this country and starts to remove the mask and rip off the sleeves of his outfit. Luffy's like, wait, you said son, right? Yamato's like, well, Kozuki Yoden was a man, so I just chose to become a man. And then Yamato continues to say that Luffy, that you're very strong, but I could tell you weren't fighting seriously. And as we get the full shot of Yamato, who is a girl, the daughter of Kaido. Oh man, I forget which I saw a YouTuber review it. I think it was Tekking 101 or Roger Base talking about the mask Yamato wore and how it was typically worn by females in Japanese culture. I think in Japanese mythology and stuff like that, or something. I don't know. I don't remember who it was or what the whole thing was about. All that the mask was related to the females or something like that. So Yamato is a woman, the daughter of Kaido, and after being inspired by Odin, decided to become a man. And after we get the whole reveal that Yamato is a woman, we get another reveal that what Yamato was alluding to earlier, like the battle from my past. As Yamato's talking about Luffy not not fighting seriously, he then says, "You remind me of Ace," and that's how the chapter ends. A lot went into this chapter. So not only did we find out how strong the Tobi Roppo are right now, with Luffy, holding himself back, that they can take that much punishment from Luffy and Yamato. We don't have confirmation that Yamato was holding back. Yamato was probably holding back. I feel like it. So not only did we get confirmation on that, we also got confirmation of where Robin and Jinbei are, as well as the rest of the Samurai Alliance that are part of the infiltration groups inside the banquet hall. We also finally get Law's group reaching the rear entrance of Onigashima and reuniting with Cat Viper, Marco, and Izo. So we got two commander level, two Yonko commanders from the strongest man in the world, along with the Scabbards, former warlord of the sea, Trafalgar Law, and the rest of the supernovas on the same place. Oh man, this battle is going to be amazing. Then we get a spoon-fed of a possible new idea for Kaido. The new Onigashima project. I can't wait to see that. And they reveal that Yamato was inspired by Kozuki Odin, has Odin's logbook, true gender is a woman, and that she knew Ace. Now, here's the thing. I'm probably going to shift back and forth between he and she when it comes to Yamato, because even though Yamato said that he became a man, I don't think it's because that he identified as a man. I think it's just so he can become more like Odin, I guess. I think that, at least that's the thing that Yamato says, I guess. But and there's also the fact that Yamato knows Ace, so I really want to. That means we're getting another flashback for this arc. Probably going to be a short flashback, but a flashback nonetheless. And I can't wait to see what Yamato's connection is to Ace. That is going to be freaking amazing. But yeah, this was another great chapter for One Piece, and I think this chapter trended in the US when it came out. So I am really glad to be reviewing and talking about this chapter. It was amazing. I cannot wait for next chapter, because we have another 2-week wait. Whatever, as long as Oda can keep telling the story with so much precision and detail that he's been doing so far. I can't wait for more reveals. I can't wait to see how Act 3 is going to end, and then we go into Act 4. I wonder how long Act 3 is going to be. Because remember, Wano was supposed to be the longest arc at this point. Longer than Dressrosa. And Dressrosa was roughly 2 years. So what's going to happen next? We'll just have to wait and see. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to keep doing One Piece reviews every single time it comes out. And if you have any theories of what's going to happen, what happened between Yamato and Ace in the past, were they friends, were they rivals? Leave a comment down below. And what do you think the new Onigashima project truly is? And also, who do you think Law's group will encounter first? And who is that shadowy figure that Marco talked about previously? Leave everything down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my reviews and to have me review other stuff. I'm looking for, once again, I'm saying this with every single one of my review videos. I'm looking for another manga to start reviewing weekly. So if you have any suggestions on certain manga you want me to talk about, whether it be shonen or anything, let me know. And with all that said and done, hope you guys have an awesome day.